Hello all, I am the Holland Phantom, and in today's video I'll be counting down my picks for the top 10 bug Pokemon in the TCG, so a shout out to YouTube user Strike and Lycan for suggesting this video. Now some of you may know that there's no such thing as bug type in the trading card game, with bug Pokemon being classified as grass types, which is why I'll be using the video game's classification of bug Pokemon for this video. So with that out of the way, let's get into the countdown. Starting off at number 10, we have Scizor from Aquapolis. It came with the Pokebody and 2 attacks. The Pokebody was poison resistance, which as the name implies, kept Scizor from being poisoned. The first attack was Snatch, which needed 1 metal energy and 1 colorless energy to deal 20 damage, but before dealing damage, could choose an opponent's benched Pokemon without any damage on it and then swap it with the active Pokemon, and then would damage the new Pokemon instead. The second attack was Heavy Metal, which needed 3 colorless energies to deal a base 30 damage, but would then flip a coin for every metal energy attached to Scizor, and for every heads, would deal an extra 20 damage. This card was the main attacker in the deck alongside Furret from Aquapolis and Muck from Legendary Collection, as Furret will use its Scavenger Hunt Pokepower to search for metal and rainbow energies to power up Scizor's attacks, and Muck's Toxic Gas Pokemon power would shut off all other Pokemon powers to disrupt the opponent's strategy. So once Scizor was fully powered up, its Heavy Metal attack could potentially deal up to 90 damage, enough to one-hit KO most Pokemon in the format. And because it was a Metal-type Pokemon, it could take advantage of Metal Energy's special ability to shield it from damage. Plus, it would also be used as Goldberry to heal it between turns, making Scizor difficult to take down. At number 9, we have Araados from Unseen Forces. It came with 2 attacks. The first attack was Reactive Poison, which needed 1 colorless energy to deal a base 10 damage, but would deal an extra 30 damage for each special condition on the opposing Pokemon. The second attack was Spider Trap, which needed 1 grass energy and would then inflict both poison and sleep to the opposing Pokemon, but could also force the opponent to switch their active Pokemon before inflicting the special conditions to disrupt their strategy. This Araados is part of a top deck alongside Flareon EX, as Flareon had the Evolutionary Flame Pokepower, which would activate on evolution and inflict both burn and confusion on the opponent's Pokemon, allowing Araados' reactive poison attack to hit for 70 damage for a single energy, and it could then deal more damage in between turns through burn damage, letting it take quick KOs against bigger Pokemon. The burn damage could also be increased using the full Flame Stadium, adding an additional 20 damage between turns. So with all these things combined, the deck could deal 110 damage per turn for only a single energy. At number 8, we have Beedrill from Great Encounters. It came with 2 attacks. The first attack was Band Attack, which needed 1 grass energy to deal 30 damage times the number of Beedrill on its side of the field. And the second attack was Twin Needle, which needed 3 colorless energies to flip 2 coins and then deal 50 damage times the number of heads. Between these 2 attacks, Band Attack was the better one, as it could quickly rack up damage by having a field full of Beedrill, hitting for up to 120 damage for only a single energy. Beedrill was supported by another Beedrill card from the Rising Rival set, whose Flutterwing's Pokepower could search the deck for a grass Pokemon once per turn, letting the player search out the Beedrill line quickly, and could then evolve them in a single turn with a Stadium broken time space. The obvious synergy between both of these Beedrill cards carried them to the World Championships in 2009. At number 7, we have Vespique from Ancient Origins. It came with 2 attacks. The first attack was Intelligence Gathering, which needed 1 colorless energy to deal 10 damage and would then let the player draw until they had 6 cards in hand. The second attack was Be Revenge, which needed 2 colorless energies to deal 20 damage plus 10 more damage for each Pokemon in the player's discard pile. Vespique's second attack was a great attack in the late game, letting it deal massive damage for fairly cheap, as it could be powered up in a single turn with double colorless energy. Plus, it had the benefit of being a single prize Pokemon in a meta full of big EX Pokemon. The item card Battle Compressor was also used to dump Pokemon from the deck directly into the discard pile, fueling Vespique's attack power quickly in case extra damage was needed. Vespique made appearances alongside other powerful bug-type Pokemon, such as Joltik and Janmega Prime, making it into several top decks in the 2016 format. At number 6, we have Scyther from Jungle. It came with 2 attacks. The first attack was Swords Dance, which needed 1 grass energy and would increase the damage of its slash attack up to a total of 60 during the next turn. And the second attack was Slash, which needed 3 colorless energies to deal a flat 30 damage. This Pokemon was one of the best Pokemon in its time, as it had 70 HP, which was pretty high for a basic Pokemon, had a free retreat cost, and resisted fighting Pokemon, like the popular Hitmonchan. Plus its second attack needed only colorless energies, which meant that it could be splashed into most decks. It was mainly partnered alongside other big basics of its era, like Hitmonchan and Electabuzz in the famous Haymaker deck, the movie Primo Mewtwo, and Wigglytuff, as they could both take advantage of a double colorless energy. This card was so popular, in fact, that it was reprinted as a secret rare in the Platinum set alongside Hitmonchan and Electabuzz, cementing its status as an iconic Pokemon in the trading card game. At number 5, we have Gore from Dark Explorers. It came with 2 attacks. The first attack was Hammer In, which needed a Grass Energy to deal 20 damage. And the second attack was Deck and Cover, which needed 2 colorless energies to deal 50 damage, plus would automatically inflict poison and paralysis on the opponent, though also had the drawback of shuffling Gore back into the deck. Despite its drawback, Gore was a key part of a powerful control deck in the Black and White era, alongside Gothitelle and Mew EX. And how the deck worked was the player would set up both Gore and Gothitelle on the bench, and Mew EX would be the attacker, as its versatile ability let it copy the attacks of every Pokemon in play. So Mew could use Gore's Deck and Cover attack to inflict both poison and paralysis, and then shuffle itself away, promoting Gothitelle to the active spot and activating its Magic Room ability, locking away all the opponent's item cards while paralysis kept the opposing Pokemon from attacking. This combo could be used continuously, as long as Gore stayed on the bench so that Mew could keep using its attack, preventing the opponent from doing much during their turn, while their Pokemon were knocked out through attack damage and poison. At number 4, we have Janmega Prime from Triumphant. It came with a Pokebody and 2 attacks. The first attack was Linear Attack, which needed 1 Grass Energy and 1 Colorless Energy to then deal 40 damage to any Pokemon on the opponent's side. And the second attack was Sonic Boom, which needed 2 Grass Energies and 1 Colorless Energy to deal 70 damage, and the damage would not be affected by any effects on the opposing Pokemon. Its Pokebody was Insight, which activated when both players had the same number of cards in hand, and would make all of Janmega's attacks free. This Pokebody was the reason that Janmega was such a common sight in a lot of competitive decks in its day, as it could easily be splashed into a lot of decks without taking up a lot of space because of its free attacks, which could be activated with the supporters Copycat and Judge, ensuring that the player had the same number of cards as the opponent. Janmega's Insight ability gave its teammates the opportunity to be powered up on the bench while it took an attacking role in the early game. At number 3, we have Genesect V from Fusion Strike. It came with an ability and 1 attack. The ability was Fusion Strike System, which let Genesect draw cards until the player had cards in hand equal to the number of Fusion Strike Pokemon they had in play. The attack was Techno Blast, which needed 2 Metal Energies and 1 Colorless Energy to deal 210 damage, but would then be unable to attack on the following turn. At the time of this recording, this Genesect is the strongest draw engine in the game, being able to draw over 20 cards per turn, giving Fusion Strike decks an insane amount of consistency. Plus, it's normally seen alongside a Mew VMAX who uses a Cross Fusion Strike attack to copy Genesect's Techno Blast and deal a solid amount of damage, which can be boosted even further by using the item Power Tablet, which increases the attack power of all Fusion Strike Pokemon by 30. So with enough Power Tablets, Genesect's Techno Blast attack can one-hit KO even VMAX Pokemon. At number 2, we have Golisopod GX from Burning Shadows. It came with 3 attacks. The first attack was First Impression, which needed 1 Grass Energy to deal a base 30 damage, but would be increased by 90 damage if Golisopod was in the bench earlier in the turn before attacking. The second attack was Armor Press, which needed 1 Grass Energy and 2 Colorless Energies to deal 100 damage, and would then reduce damage taken by 20 during the opponent's next turn. And the final attack was Crossing Cut GX, which needed 1 Grass Energy and 2 Colorless Energies to deal 150 damage, and would then switch Golisopod with the benched Pokemon. Golisopod was a powerful Pokemon in the 2017 format, as its First Impression attack could be used repeatedly to hit for 120 damage on a consistent basis by pairing it with Guzma, a supporter that allowed the player to switch out their active Pokemon while bringing up one of their opponent's benched Pokemon, so Golisopod could fulfill its condition of being on the bench before attacking. Another great supporter was Acerola, which had the ability to return a damaged Pokemon to the hand, so if Golisopod was at risk of being knocked out, Acerola could pick it back up, and the Stadium Forest of Giant Plants would let it evolve on the same turn, letting it come back down onto the bench immediately to start using its First Impression attack for full damage. And if no switching cards were available, its GX attack was useful for dealing big damage, while also getting it back onto the bench to get its First Impression ready for the following turn. And finally, at number 1, we have Buzzwole GX from Crimson Invasion. It came with 3 attacks. The first attack was Jet Punch, which needed 1 Fighting Energy to deal 30 damage to the opposing active Pokemon, and 30 damage to one of the opponent's benched Pokemon. The second attack was Knuckle Impact, which needed 3 Fighting Energies to deal 160 damage, but would prevent Buzzwole from attacking on the following turn. And the final attack was Absorption GX, which needed 3 Fighting Energies to deal 40 damage times the number of prize cards the player had remaining, which would be at the strongest at the beginning of the game, being able to hit for up to 240 damage. Buzzwole was a powerful Pokemon with great attacks that was further boosted by powerful support cards in the format, such as Strong Energy, which increased the attacks of fighting Pokemon by 20, and Beast Energy, a special energy for Ultra Beast Pokemon, which counted as a Rainbow Energy for them, while also increasing their attack power by 30. Diancie Prism Star was another attack boosting card that had the Princess Cheers ability, which increased the attack power of fighting type Pokemon by another 20, and Choice Band was another tool that added yet another 20 attack points to any Pokemon's attacks. So with the right setup, Buzzwole could deal 100 damage for only a single energy. Plus, as an Ultra Beast, it had access to one of the best energy accelerating items in the game, Beast Ring, which could be played when the opponent had 3 or 4 prizes remaining, and would then search the deck for any 2 basic energy cards to attach to any Ultra Beast Pokemon, letting Buzzwole quickly power up and start taking knockouts. So with the combination of great attacks, great energy cards, and great support from trainers, Buzzwole cemented its place as the top Pokemon in its format, which is why it has come in at number 1 in this list. Which is your favorite Bug-type Pokemon? Let me know down in the comments below, along with any suggestions for future videos you might want to see. And be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video to help this channel grow and reach new viewers. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, this is Hall and Phantom logging out.